is this the $1 million summit? That was pretty much all I told you guys. I looked back at the invitation, and I was like, oh, wow, I really didn't give them much information on this. Why did I call this the $1 Million Summit? And it's pretty simple. The goal that I have for today is for us to be able to build a new $1 million of worth in this room. So let me say that again. I strongly believe that coming out of today, we look back this time next year, we will have created $1 million new dollars of wealth in this room. Why is that important? Why is that important? I've already shared some of these stats with you in some of these meetings. Right now, we all know about the wage gap, right? We know we've still got some work to do on that. But as of today, women only own 32 cents to every dollar that a man owns in this country. And when I started Crush Your Money Goals, and some of you are there, some of you are the OG Crush Your Money Goals, the original debt crushers, my original thought was that we were going to eliminate $1 million of debt. That's actually how Crush Your Money Goals started. But then, y'all spoiled me, and I got to meet some amazing people, and not only did you start crushing your debt, you guys started getting raises and getting promotions and getting TED Talks and getting, retirement plans built and building businesses. And I realized this is so much more than debt, right? So when I say that I think this room of only 25 women can build $1 million of debt, that's not unfounded. That is based off of this individual actions that I have seen women take in this room up until this point. So if any of you were sitting there like, holy shit, Bernadette, what are you talking about? $1 million? Like, I thought I was just gonna come here for charcuterie and like cookies and stuff. Like, what do you mean we're gonna build $1 million of wealth? If any of you had a moment where you're like, okay, maybe I'm not supposed to be in this room right now, or maybe this was not a good idea, you are in the right place. You are in the right place. When I think about how things have come to be for me and for AJ and for many of you in this room, it was because we started to attract things. We didn't have to chase things anymore, right? And that is what I really want for every person in this room. Rather than us chasing after dreams or goals or investments or whatever it is that we were used to chasing up until now, I really think that coming out of here today, we're going to start attracting what we need. And $1 million is not an easy feat, right? That's a pretty big goal. But in order to attract bigger, we need to do bigger. But in order to do bigger, it starts with how we think. It starts with thinking bigger. And that's what we're going to be focusing a lot on today. So some of you may have come to the room and you're like, okay, I'm going to know the exact strategy of how to pay off my student loan. By the way, you can come to a free class for that instead on Monday. But really, today we're going to focus on how do we attract bigger, better things so we don't have to fucking work so hard anymore. So I don't know about y'all. I'm tired of working so hard. And what I figured out is that that is not an option that's available to everyone. The truth is, at certain times in their life, we do have to work hard, and some people may have to work hard for their whole lives. But having met each of you individually, I don't think that has to be the truth for us, right? So here is where the super Asian, nerdy Bernadette comes out. I was thinking about this with my reverse into one goal, because that's what I teach you guys. How can we grow $1 million collectively? It is not as big as we think. So if you had a thought like, that is a tall order, Bernadette, to grow collectively $1 million today over the course of the next year, that means each of us is just growing by a little over $100 a day. There is nobody in this room that I would say isn't capable of making a $100 decision every day. But here's the truth. You all have been making $100 decisions every day without even realizing it. Showing up today was literally a $100 decision, right? For some of us, right? deciding whether your kids are going to be in daycare or not, or in school or not, or going to college or not, were not just $100 a day decisions. They were $1,000 decisions, right? I've seen many of you take investments that you were afraid to do before, and now you are maxing out retirement plans and growing your net worth by 6 figures. I've seen you guys paying down mortgages and student loans and investing in other businesses. Everyone in this room has already shown me that we are capable of making more than $100 a day decisions. But what is the catch in that? The catch in that is that often we find ourselves spending a lot of time and energy making $1 and $10 decisions. I was guilty of that myself today. I was like, which pair of shoes do I wear, right? Which, by the way, paid off because everyone complimented me on my shoes, but you see how quickly those came off, right, today? We spend so much time and energy between making $1 and $10 decisions that we can't see what's ahead of us for these $100, $1,000, and $10,000 decisions. And so why I'm spending so much time today on how we are going to attract and think about what wealth looks like for us in the future is if we can't get past making $1 and $10 decisions, we're not going to be able to get, right, to the $100, $1,000, and $10,000 decisions. So that's what I really want for everyone in this room, is that y'all have the goods. You have the receipts. You have already shown that you're capable of doing it, and now it's about building the consistency that we need, the tribe that we need, and the support that we need to keep doing that every day. So, today is about all of us. It's about all of us. I'm actually just as much as a learner today as each of you. I haven't actually listened to any of the other talks yet, so I'm ready to do some learning as well. And today is broken up into 3 phases. Know your worth, flow your worth, which many of you know, and grow your worth. That is what we are talking about today. Everyone talks about, know your worth, girl, go charge that fee, all that thing, but do we actually know what we're worth? So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Then we're going to talk about the other 2 pieces, and I'm going to get some help from some of your peers. So let me talk a little bit about knowing your worth. I'm not going to give you the whole, y'all, I'm all about girl power and all of those things or whatever, but one of the questions, and some of you got caught on this, right? When I first met you, I was like, do you know what your net worth is? And almost every time the answer was no. So I'm all about knowing our self-worth and what, we should show up as. But truth be told, and y'all know this, when your net worth goes up, it definitely makes it a lot easier to show up as yourself, right? So here's something that I want to remind everyone in this room. You deserve to be surrounded by future and current millionaires. You deserve to be in a room surrounded by current and future millionaires. You know why? Because that is what we have right now. Everyone in this room is either a current or a future millionaire. I am not the only millionaire in this room. So think about that for a second. When was the last time that you knew for a fact that you were sitting in a room of 25 current and future millionaires? How much possibility is there when you have that kind of power in one room? Let me ask a question. When we think about the relationships in our life, what types of relationships do you think most influence our wealth? And interpret that question however you want. When you think about the relationships in your life, what types of relationships most influence your wealth? What do you think? Shout them out. What do you think when I say that? What do you say? Spouse. What else? Your relationship with yourself. What else? Those expensive ass children. Expensive children. Yes. So here's the interesting thing. And I've told many of you this already. I am both a business, major and a psychology major. And most of you, and some of you have gone the psychology side of me many a time. The one type of relationship that influences our worth is this simple. It's who you keep in close proximity. Literal proximity. Not like, oh, we're like close and best friends, but we live across the world. Like, no, literal, whoever is closest to you is who is influencing your wealth the most. So that's why, right? We think spouse and the kids and yourself, right? Knowing this fact, how does that change who you want to keep close by? It is a fact. I mean, I think we can all deduce, right? Rich people tend to hang out with other rich people. People with broke mindsets tend to hang out with other people with broke mindsets, right? Your worth is most influenced by who you choose to keep within arm's distance. So there was a real reason that I asked for you to come in person, right? The more that we have people literally surrounding us with the mindset that we need, the more that we can grow our worth. It is just a fact. Now, if any of you thought, okay, again, well, and I know some of you, I'm thinking, you know who I'm talking to, like some of you are already calculating your net worth in your head and you're like, how do I fit into this overall picture? This is a very rough estimate from the ones that I know, right? This room is worth at least $10 million, at least. Think about that. There is 10 million, more than 10 million. This is a very conservative estimate. And by the way, this does not include me. This room is worth at least $10 million. So when I'm asking, can we, as a group of badass women, build $1 million of worth in the next year, that is only asking for us, on average, to do 10% differently. And notice I didn't say the word more. Let me be very clear about that. I'm not asking you to work more. I'm asking us, how can we flow 10% more than what we already have today? Seems a lot more feasible when we put it that way, right? So you know a little bit now of who is in this room. That in and of itself, to me, like, I feel like, take a deep breath for a second. You are in a room. When I say badass women, like, I don't fuck around. Like, this is where we are at, right? So when we talk in the next couple of phases here, we're going to now talk about flowing our worth. Now, don't worry, I'm not going to redo the whole fucking program because y'all have been through it. And for those of you who have it, you have it as your bonus for coming up today. You get it for free, right? So you can go through that whole thing. The main thing I want us to take out of today is to get out of our own damn way. Let's get out of our own way today. We all have the ability to flow lots of wealth, but sometimes we just have to get out of the way. So, just as a reminder, here is what flow is all about. And the good news, guys, the good news is that I don't have to stand up here for the next 3 hours and tell you all about that, because there have been other women in this room who have done it too. So today you're going to hear from some of your peers who I believe are real thought leaders in their own space. The fact that each of them are clients, that I get to talk to them on a weekly, sometimes daily basis, blows my mind, and you're going to learn so much from them today.